All right, grand afternoon, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and we're back. We're gonna go ahead and still go into Ecclesiasticus. Um, Again, I've been really doing some work this morning. Um, I don't know, on just contemplating some of the things that are going on, and how just the depths of the levels of this spiritual thing, where you want to just you know um, sometimes just throw in the towel because um, it is something that if you're not encompassed in it at all times can drag you either way, because many of these things we don't understand on a spiritual level are happening unconsciously. Like you're not conscious of some of these things that are going on. So again, I don't know, maybe I'm just different or come to share a different version, of the story. But watch a clip on Instagram of Dick Gregory saying the thing about uh, the universe choosing you to put on those glasses, because you're see, and it's almost like a verse I was reading yesterday about all seeing, which is also reminds me of the all seeing eye. So when the universe chooses you to put on those glasses, because you see everything not for what they want you to see, but it's something like this, okay? But you see it how it is, and the thing is, you can never take them off, and you can't give them to anyone else. It goes something like that. And so again, to be in a position where I am, it's like, how can I even go back to normal? Like, you know, again, not saying that there's only one chosen to do so, again, but we all have our journeys and our roads and our paths. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm going to take my chances at explaining how some of these things actually feel like they actually did work, and how many of these things are accurate to the point where it was a consent, right? So, and then it's almost like, because I want to talk about like the realistic aspect of what people could be going through when they go through these types of trials, when everyone around you, you're in your sound mind, and everyone around you is questioning that, because they're afraid, because some people don't like change. And when things change, or you change, or you try to up yourself, or you're going in a certain path that many will not go, people can start to question things. And excuse me, good and well that you are fine, but it's just the way that most of the people in this world are not seeing things the way that they really are, and that's just it. So, also a poem about villains, that I listened to, um, and how the girl was saying that she always wondered why she sympathized with the villains, because most of the time they have a story that wasn't told. And along the lines of, something had happened, remember that at one point something happened to them to turn them that way, and that uh, the hero can be looked at as in a way of glory, I'm guessing, because he took the woman and sacrificed her to the whole world. But the villain is the one that will sit there next to her with his crown on the ground, and and I guess accept this punishment or whatnot with her, holding her hand. And the villain would be the one that um to a certain extent would tear up the whole world if something happened to her. And And just imagine if you knew certain things or saw certain things, and you were at a point in your life where you had to resort to who or what would be the villain that may have sweet words, like they say Satan would come, in this certain light. And so, anyhow, we're just going to go ahead and go. I don't know, I'm just at this, and it's funny because we were just talking about the whole thing of the going, the light and the darkness in the last video, but we're going to go to 130, I'm thinking this is, in Ecclesiasticus. Many miseries in man's life, the reward of unrighteous, oh my goodness, I wish I had these glasses. Unrighteousness. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And the fruit of the true dealing, a virtuous wife and an honest friend, rejoicing the heart. But the fear of the Lord is above all. A beggar's life is hateful. I'm thinking that's what that says. It's very small, and I told you guys I lost my glasses. So it says, great travail is created from every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam. From the day that they go out of the mother's womb, their mother's womb, till the day that they return to the mother of all things. And I'm guessing this is earth. Because it's almost like, even I'm seeing like to seek a certain vessel. Like, and it's soul is making me think of something that has to do with souls. Their imagination of things to come in the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause fear of heart. From him that sitteth on a throne of glory unto him that is humbled in earth and ashes. It's even like reminding me of just like the whole Cain and Abel story. From him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with the linen frock. Wrath and envy trouble the unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife. And in the time of rest upon his bed, his night slept, or his night sleep. This is very, I think that you guys know that while I'm reading this, there is a parallel story that is trying to catch up with these actual words. That knowing that there is a code written in the heart, that what parts of this, again, do I share? I don't know. I just go through this. Like, I'm trying to give it to you guys. And again, that's why I'm saying that one of my hashtags I used to use is pay attention. When I did the thunder poem, look at me. because I'm trying to tell you guys a story along the line. Every image, every video, everything, every time you hear me slow down and speak in these words, there's something. Do change his knowledge. A little or nothing is his rest. Insomnia. And afterward, he is in his sleep, as in a day, or keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle. Mm. When all is safe, he waketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh, both men and beast, that is sevenfold more upon sinners. And again, sevenfold more. It's also reminding me of Cain and Abel. Because I think that it says something like, if someone comes to try and kill him, they're going to get it 7 times over, or something like that. So I'm wondering what, if that's where all of this started, because I think that was the first murder or slewing. Because again, a slewing does not necessarily have to mean murder. It doesn't mean murder. It can be cut off, or just, again, you can do the etymology on it. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulations, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked. So these things are created for the wicked. And for their sake came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. And, it's even almost like a judgment of the earth, or the mother, or just the mother of all things. There's almost like there is a communing and a companionship that happens in spiritual realms when it comes to accepting her. Even makes me think of being connected to the minstrel, and how we have certain feelings, around that time of the month, that you would have, well, okay, I'm going too far. Okay. Excuse me. So again, it's like it's saying all things are going to turn to the earth, because again, the earth is what, some vessels were made out of, the soil, the dirt, and even, when we're talking back about, made me think about the earth, that there was no one to till the earth. Okay. And so it had not rained on the earth. Okay. I think this is in Genesis 2. So again, in order, when we're talking even about that, I feel as though we're talking, there was nobody to break down the earth. And I feel also, in a symbolic way, that this has something to do with the earthly mother that was fighting against, even when we talk about, again, you probably don't watch the show, or you haven't, or you maybe you do. We're talking about Bilquis, in American Gods, how all of the men were coming for her throne, and they were trying to do everything they could to knock her off of it. And so it's almost like, even when it comes to the mother of all things, is something in here speaking of a battle between her and her sons, or the sons of Adam, right? And it's just it almost like I'm gonna get you before you get me, you know. Um, but I feel like the mother is open. She's the one that's gonna take all of the blows because the sons have grown up some kind of way. They have a yoke, like it says here, that they have this particular type of yoke on them. Like it, I don't know. It's just the way I see things. Um, it just reminds me even of the mother or the woman that's supposed to be like the mother on. Um, Again, I'm trying to give many different ways of different, where people might be able to see it. Um, how the mother was being treated on that show, Lucifer. Again, because when I watch these shows, I'm going through the web, or the fabrics of the whole storyline in order to see or show, right? So how the uh, relationship between Aminadab, or whatnot, I always get the name wrong, and Lucifer and the mother. But how Lucifer was really concerned, he's supposed to be the villain, but he was the one that was really actually concerned about the mother, you know, um, at the end of the day, and wanted to get her help or get her healed and things like that. So I don't know. I'm just, these different things are coming to my mind. Okay. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again, and that which is of the water doth return into the sea. All bribery and unjust shall be blotted out. Hmm. But true dealing shall endure forever. I mean, and that's kind of deep in itself. To see why all bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, and in what ways are we talking? Is this so those that were, like I look at it like that, like, is that because of those who are victimized or dealt with wrongly, those things can be blotted out, you know so that it can make it look like it wasn't there and it was all one way, you know because again, the whole thing of not seeing the other side of the story, and whose injustice will be blotted out. See, because in the whole biblical text, the women's, you know injustice was always brought forward. There's no real positive light placed on her. But true dealing shall endure forever. The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river and shall vanish with noise. So again, this is almost how I'm seeing this, like, the goods of even someone, like me, who I feel has been, um, you know, dying on the cross for things that, what I'm saying, we brought forth or manifested in this time where we are trying to heal, but we had to bring pain, where the Most High or the source had to bring pain, in order for the course of things to change. But we, with our voices, with our minds, with our hearts, with our souls, were crying out. Again, it's almost like the whole thing of crying out from the earth and stating a case and a claim and saying, we see this. We see this. So a lot of us were already ahead of the game in that whole, like, if we're looking at this as a creation being recreated, or the creation itself, right, at this point in time, us going through these motions of these stories. I know some of you have dreams, visions, these things, different energies and things around you. Hmm. So again, all of the things that were done to behind the scenes by other forces, not mentioned. We're just going to mention the horrible things about this person. We're not going to mention that a wave of something came in and threw wrenches and threw darts all day and every day in order to bring something about. And then it's like a whole self-doubt. Oh, it's you, or things happening to you are because of you, and all these things. No, no, no. I want you to know that there are also unseen forces involved in many of these things. It's all about you, how you carry yourself while you're going through it, standing strong, keeping a smile on your face, treating people um, the way you want to be treated, not being um, someone who, because somebody wronged you, wants to uh, eliminate them. If anything, when I feel like there's a lot coming towards me, I ask for to be protected and to bind something, like it's in a sense. It could be way worse. So again, all of the good that the person has done, that would be in a Christ consciousness, or going through a time when they are carrying a cross. No one remembers the good parts or the things that they brought to the table. They just want them gone. Them, they want to slew them, right? Society has made up their minds. They've seen a one-sided way of looking at things. They have been indoctrinated and manipulated again to go against their brethren or sister. And so again, this is why it's just all about energy. It's all about me measuring up a man or a woman from their works, as far as I can remember, going all the way to where I am now, or where we are now. Same thing when it looks to me, uh looking at the structure and looking at the industry in a certain light. But it's always been a light where there is something in the background, in the shadows, that is doing something that is not right. Not only to us as the people that are taking in that entertainment, but possibly to those who are in that industry. And again, this is just me, it's the way I'm saying it, and that's just what it is. But then there's always a pyramid effect. So those people that would be in that portion of the pyramid would then at one point in time be able to have wrath and place it on people that are, do you see what I'm saying? So it's all the way up to, right, certain governing forces in a sense. So again, if you're gunning at that top of that pyramid, and then you find yourself being the one that now you're just one standing, throwing your darts, I would say, or your words, using your words to speak on something. And then one day you turn around and notice that there's a million arrows coming your way. And you're still alone standing with the power of source in the universe and the ancestors behind you. Battling here and in the spiritual realm, seeing things that, wonders and things that, again, is it worth even speaking on them, because no one would believe. So and when we talk about things such as, Enoch walked with God, who really knows what that's talking about? Who really is seeing what we're talking about? We're talking about walking with God in a certain light or way, in the spirit or in the mind, or in the we're talking about in a different realm while you're still here on this earth. It's not talking about God came and picked him up and walked around with him, like no. So again, this is a lot deeper than we think. Like a great thunder and rain, while he openeth his hand, he shall rejoice. So shall transgressors come to naught. Okay. So again, I mean, I guess it's looking at what side of the party is looking at whoever as transgressors. Because sometimes truthers can become transgressors to those who want to suppress the truth. And sometimes it can just be what it is. The children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches. And again, a lot of this stuff, like when I'm reading this, I mean, honestly, it does feel almost like there is an energy navigating. Honestly, like if these are going to be my last times, you know, again, because are we talking about godly when we're talking about those laws that are written in a heart? Are we talking about the ones that they want you to cleave on to when it comes to society and in the way that this construct has been set up in religious aspect? Or are we talking about what's right is wrong? You see what I'm saying? And what's wrong is, you see what I'm saying? Okay. But are as unclean roots upon a hard rock. Okay. And it's almost like, what do you do when you see this unraveling in front of you? Who is judging of the clean and unclean? It's almost like society. If you don't fit into it today, then you are rejected, isolated. Okay. The weeds growing upon every water and bank of a river shall be pulled up before all grass. Bountifulness is as a most fruitful garden, and mercifulness endureth forever. To labor and to be content with that a man hath is a sweeter life. But he that findeth a treasure is above them both. Children and the building of a city continue a man's name. But a blameless wife is counted above them both. So again, like this is even reminding me of like stumbling blocks being placed in front of us during this journey. And as being earthlings, you know, and also, being able to use discernment and instinct and all these other things, your gut, all these other things in order to certain signs and things like that in order to not stumble. But, when it comes to wisdom, I'm glad that I've seen all of the things that I've seen because it's helped me discern. So even if everyone else in the world anytime would look at it some kind of way, I know. I see that a lot of these things that happen in this text tur- tur- told by the victors may be blotting out also some of the truth of those who were wronged. Unknowingly, or just having that something up trying to beat you over the head all day long with some kind of mistake or some kind of something, a so-called sin, and you're dodging and dodging and dodging, but some of them are going to graze you, but did they really penetrate you? And if it is the victors that are going to tell the story, did it penetrate you enough for you to get the punishment that the victors would like to give to you anyway? Because it's really not about, even when we go to court, it's really not about what the truth is. It's about who can prove or who can win the case. Okay. But a blameless wife is counted above them both. Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. The pipe and the psaltery make sweet melody, but a pleasant tongue is above them both. And again, what is pleasant? One that speaks what people want them to hear, or one that speaks the truth? What is pleasant? Thine eye desireth favor and beauty, but more than both corn while it is green. A friend and companion never meet amiss. So again, this doesn't happen for no reason, I'm guessing. But above both is a wife with her husband. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both. Gold and silver make the foot stand sure, but counsel is esteemed above them both. Wait a minute. Gold and silver make the foot stand sure. Wow. So again, riches, are going to make sure that you don't slip. Wow. But counsel is esteemed above them both. So it's almost like one of those instances I'm seeing here where, Elohim would ask maybe, what do you want? What can I do for you? What do you want? And some people ask for wisdom. Some people ask for, so I'm just saying, like, it's almost in a sense I'm seeing something like that, here. Where, the world is going to make you think, hey, I need those particular things. But, deep down in your heart, you know that those things are not as valuable as other types of gifts, whatever you would think. In this case, we were talking about the wisdom of Solomon, and we're talking about counsel. Riches and strength lift up hearts, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. So again, contemplating, going, a lot of things with these trials and tribulations, going back and forth as to what your eyes are seeing, but there's something written in the heart or something that is in the mind's eye that is saying, hey, I want to do these things, or I'm looking this way, but if this goes against the will of source in the universe, I can't, um, just and again, these are everyday battles for those of us that are fighting in this spiritual warfare. There is no want in fear of the Lord. And it is, almost even like life giver, right? Or just even the those who are people that tend to give all the time. And those are usually the people that are gotten, at the end of the day. But there's some people that give and give and give until they realize that they can't give anymore. And then they stop. And some will always be givers, And so again, for me, that's a very powerful thing just to even look at, in a sense of which one are you? What you know what I'm saying? Which one? His spirit almost asked me, which one are you? Right. So where it gets to that point where the dagger is coming in. Which one are you? There is no want. Okay, the Lord is above both of them. Both. There is no want in fear of the Lord, and it needeth not seek help. Mm, 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 mm. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden, and covereth him above all glory. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is it to die than to beg. Mm. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man well nurtured will beware thereof. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in the belly there shall be a shall burn a fire. And it's funny too when I look at this that I'm wondering, like, when it comes to it can how it can almost feel like that. I know it's saying to eat off another man's table, but also when it comes to like a marriage where the woman is at home mom or something of that sort, and at some point in time she's you know she's going to go through a time when she is done, pretty much done raising the children, and has to enter back into the world some kind of way. I don't know, I'm just speaking on this. So this could be like a life lesson of feeling like, and then by the time you're doing that, it's like, where are you going to work? Who's going to hire you? But again, you just have to, that's why I feel like entrepreneurship is something that is major, come up for a lot of people today. But anyways, we're getting off subject. We're getting way off subject. But again, nobody wants to end up being a beggar. Nobody wants to end up someone that has to depend on someone, especially if that's someone in you, you know. Yeah. Because things can change. We'll just put it like that. Things can change. Okay. So, every time I read this word, it's just so many things that you could just take from it and apply to your everyday life. For people thinking that it's just about like looking at it from the religious aspect, I mean, that's how they're going to see it. But it's all kind of life lessons packed in every verse in this text. It just really is all kind of confirmation too. You know, if you already have these things written, um, I mean, anyone could probably see it that way, but you know, especially if you have the things written in your heart, and we're at this time when things are going to be exposed and things are going to be coming out. So, um, yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna go ahead and stop there, um, and I'll come back. Um, I think I'll just do it tomorrow. I mean, because this is a whole lot to take in. It's a whole lot, you know. And I think these things are like really, uh, uh, it's pressing times right now. So, um, yeah, we'll stop there. um, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more alternative information about the past, present, and future. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Why do I have to do it like that? Why can't I just read it? Why can't I just go with the poem that I did last night and the theme that I did and put it together and just read it how it is? Why? Why do I feel this way? Is it a sense of something? What is it? I just feel like sometimes being led into something with other things that are not right. It just, you know, why do I feel that way? Why do I feel this need to try and protect myself? Is it because of all of the betrayal and all of the things and just going with the flow all the other times? What is it? I feel I did good, but the whole time there was a little something there saying, there you go again. You know, and it's just like it's the truth though. And so that's where I'm at. Ah, the whole wrecking ball approach. It's just a